just like from what I heard, if you're an iron, like you might as well be disabled. So I don't think I'm disabled. So I think
Okay.
I think I can reach at least higher than iron. So
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Okay, you're pretty young.
Yeah.
I'm 29 years old.
So how
So
long you been playing League for?
yeah, since season 3, around that time.
Damn.
Yeah. I
Isn't
just
like a season
remember.
like 9 months?
No, it was a whole year before. It has been 9 months for a
Damn.
while, like maybe 3 years. But when I got into this game, it was a whole year. So season one was 2012, season two 2013, and so on, so on. So has been a while, maybe 12, 13 years ish. So yeah, um, based on what you're telling me, I don't think the problem is any like that you are bad at the game. You're just new, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So most definitely watching you play, you, you don't look like a gold or a silver player. Okay, you are doing things right. Some of the things are wrong, but yeah, you're doing fine. Okay, for someone that has been playing the game for just 2 weeks. Um, Were
Oh, they
you
surrender.
close to the competitive scene by any chance before playing, or you haven't like League of Legends is completely new for you?
Uh, what was your question? Sorry, my bad.
No, no, no worries. So, were you aware of that League of Legends existed at least? Like, have you watched
Yeah.
any?
Yeah, like I think I watched like a few years back like League of Legends streamers, but it's not like I didn't have a laptop or anything. I didn't have a computer, so I
Okay,
couldn't play the game.
okay.
What do you want me to record now? Like my gameplay or
That will be perfect.
let's start.
Yes.
Alright. Let me just make sure my settings aren't fucked. Hold on.
So basically, what I have learned till now about coaching, like positional coaching, solo coaching, is that
Yeah.
people are pretty different, okay? There's something
Yeah.
called backseat gaming that's basically like you have me talking to you, trying to tell you what to do, etc. There's also live coaching, talking on a Discord call and watching a bot, okay, like about that you were playing something you have questions about. That's like the two main types of coaching. For all things considered, based on my experience, it's usually better for new players to watch their games because your mind is too busy because you don't know how the game works.
Yeah.
So it's easier to learn outside of the game, looking at it. So that's like
Yeah.
the first thing that we need to talk about. You need to you need it's okay to be playing, like you said before, again and again and not waiting a couple of minutes, but it's better to just look at your games, you know, maybe during time that I don't know, maybe you're doing homework or you're eating or you're just chilling and you don't know what to do. Just look at your games and try to understand what's going on and what did
And what
you.
did I well yeah, what I did wrong and stuff, yeah.
Yes. So in the last a couple years ago, I worked for Europe. I work for a region called NLC. That's basically East Europe, okay? And what I learned from them is that it's impossible, or at least pretty hard, for a coach to teach you how to play because it takes a lot of time, like chess or like some game like this, okay? A strategy game. It's
Yeah.
easier for the coach to teach the player how to learn by themselves. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm talking about this. I want to make it clear. I will help you, but I'm trying to teach you how to think so you can improve by yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of just done like when my friend watches me play, he kind of does backseat game.
Hmm.
He like kind of tells me what to do. Sometimes I'm like, let me try to figure it out on my own and tell me my mistakes afterwards. Like we sometimes talk about what I did wrong afterwards, but I never really like reviewed my like clips or anything.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Since you haven't watched a clip, or like, see, since this is completely new for you, what I will recommend to do, when you're trying to learn something new, is to watch someone else do it, okay? So you have an idea of where to start. Because right now, because you're new, um, it's pretty hard or pretty tough to know what's most important, okay? What's like
Yeah,
your game condition in this game or next game, etc. So it's pretty important for you to try to watch bots or someone that is analyzing a game, that is giving some coaching. There's pretty big YouTubers online that are pretty good. I could share a couple of channels maybe so you can take a look of how to analyze your
that'd
game.
be cool.
Because I'm not like my third is not the only one, okay? So if you like, you can take whatever you need from the theory I will give you, whatever works for you, but you could also um, use the information online because there's pretty much like all strategy, theory, etc., related to the game is somewhere on the internet. You just need to
Yeah,
you just need to be good at looking for it, and to do it, I will help you. That's something that I could do for you. But yeah, so try to look to someone else analyzing the game and compare it to the way I'm doing it, and take both, okay? The best
right.
things or the things that work for you, take them and use them in your games. So please, oh, you're playing right. Okay,
Yeah.
I will tell you to. I was thinking to tell you to pause the game, but yeah, it's okay. No worries. Um, so in this game, what are you playing against?
Playing
Okay.
against Darius, Warwick, Fizz, Severe, and Pike.
Okay, you have double range bot, and also you have a range top. Okay, that
Yeah.
Hammer Danger is going against Darius, and your bot lane is going against Pike and what else? Silver, right?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's
My
really
team
it's really
is,
tough to.
yeah, I don't know like the champion names by heart.
Oh,
So
okay,
like,
okay. I'll try to go back a bit. So there are several kinds of champions in the game, and you can group them in maybe 15 or 14 groups. There's squishes, there's brawlers, there's mages, etc. Okay, like in any other game, there's like
yeah,
ways to separate them as if they were Magic the Gathering cards, for example, as colors or something else. I think you get me.
yeah,
So what's important here is something called prio. Okay, I don't know if you have heard the word before, but what prio is basically a pressure that someone on your team has in the moment. Okay, basically they are. Imagine that if they were fighting against someone else. Okay, if they hit them strong enough, they will be vulnerable. So that's what pressure is. Okay, it's like in
yeah,
football, for example, whenever you lose the ball, it's because you did something before. You tried something before. So what you
yeah,
are doing here is doing something to get the ability to have time. Okay, but the enemy
yeah,
is not going to have it. You will have that window of opportunity, but the enemy jungler is not going to have it. So that's the secret. For example, let's think about the fact that you're playing against a melee. Since you're playing against Warwick, Warwick is a pretty tough champ. He has pretty good healing. He has pretty cheap build. He has basically a pretty easy kit to use. So
Yeah.
most probably, and besides the already fact that we have that Diego is weak early, it's pretty obvious that he's going to win if you guys fight 1v1 at
Yeah.
level 4. So what do you do? And this is how it works, how pressure works. For example, have you played chess by any chance?
Yeah. Yeah. I have.
Okay, so if you, for example, move um, your a2, no, it's not, it's a2 pawn, right? The ones on the corners. If you move your pawn, maybe I don't know, on your right side, okay, and you go forward, your other side will lose pressure, and you will gain pressure. But if, for example, I take out my queen, okay, and I check
Yeah.
you, I'm applying pressure because I'm
Yeah, because
attacking.
it forces me to make a move. It forces me to
That's
move my king.
correct. And that's when mistakes happen. And this is second lesson. Second thought that you need to think about. The secret of League of Legends and any other game, strategy game, MOBA game, is to learn how to make things happen. Okay? Because what's going to be pretty easy for you is basically learning a champ. It will take maybe 2 weeks for you to hit gold if you're doing things correctly. But eventually, you will find a pretty big wall. This wall height depends on how the mechanics of the player are. You could be pretty good still and don't know like shit of the game,
Yeah.
but still you will, I don't know, maybe reach diamond. Okay, so it for someone that is doing the things correctly, it will be easier, funnier if you like to win, and just like faster compared with someone else. Okay, because you're thinking about the things you're doing. You are not playing automatically. You are not on, like just playing back to
Yeah.
back, right? So my second advice is going to be try to find ways to make things happen. Okay, and to
Yeah.
give you an example, I will start streaming on Discord if that's okay.
Uh, can you wait a bit, like after the game? I'll just be like way
Oh,
too
I thought
focused on
you
this
had two
game, and
screens.
I'll.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Uh, uh, I, anyways, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's ways to get pressure in League of Legends, several ones, but they come from two channels. The first one is the enemy, that he makes a mistake and gives you the pressure, like on football, losing the ball. Okay, you
Yeah.
are giving the pressure. Also, they can force it by doing, for example, um, let's talk about, for example, your Drake right now. Since you're attacking the Drake and it was warded, the Warwick is he has to do something else. Okay, so that's when mistakes happen because you're deciding when Warwick needs to gank.
Yeah.
So when someone's forcing you to do something you didn't think about it, it's most probably you will fail. Okay, and since you're playing on a pretty low elo, this advice alone, it's pretty damn good because you start thinking about, okay, it doesn't matter if I don't push the wave. For example, 14 minions killed equals a kill. you get the same gold. So if I don't know, you're pretty good at milling for like Faker for example, and you know how to zone the enemy, he will lose that far. And it doesn't matter that you're bad at the game mechanically speaking, because you will have the gold. And it's pretty hard. You have been fed at least once before, and you know when you're fed, the game's pretty easy. It's pretty fun. So that's like it. Those are the two advices that I want to give you because you won't hear them anywhere else. I
Yeah.
mean, if you start looking at guidance, for example, they will talk about farm, they will talk about how attacking, skirmishing, fighting works, they will talk about certain champion, they will talk about things that already exist. Okay, but this 30 or this those facts that I'm giving you right now are pretty tough to find online. So I'm just trying to make you stop for a second and think: Am I doing things right? Like, did I do things correctly here? Uh, because you could still be looking to the replay. You could still be able to done like to don't manage to understand what you did wrong when you lost, when you won, or etc. So those are the two advices that I have for you. Anything else you will find it online. The most common advice is to just play one champ. Most probably you have heard it. Uh, but yeah, it is in fact easier to understand the game if you're playing just one champ. Okay?
Yeah. Do you think I made a mistake picking like Viego as my main because
No,
no.
no. Let me tell you something. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I have been a coach for maybe 6 years, and the first 4 years, I thought or I used to think that if you were better at champ, you're not just you're not just meant for it. Okay, you need to move on, change your champion, and that's it. But nowadays, and I stand by it. You need to have fun to be good. If you are not
Yeah.
having fun, this is not going to work. So an
Yeah, that
individual
makes sense.
is able to play correctly any champ. And your age is
Yeah.
pretty interesting too because you're pretty young. I'm 29. It's easier for a younger dog to start learning some tricks than an old one.
Yeah.
Anyone knows that. So that's the same thing here. You have pretty good potential because you want to improve. And like
Yeah.
98% of the people that play League of Legends don't want it. They already think they're good. So if you are mature enough to know that you are not good, you will improve a lot. And
Yeah.
this will be the extra tip that I will give you, okay? Um, if you don't know, and this applies to any game, if you don't know that you have an advantage, the advantage doesn't work at all. It doesn't exist because you don't know you have it. So let's talk, for example, I will be pretty technical here. I just want to make the point that I do know what you're doing wrong here, for example, but this that I'm telling you is more important, okay? Besides the fact that you could learn how to arc correctly, that you are doing your pathing wrong, that Larvas is pretty important right now because you have a Stitch comp. So there are several things on the background that are going on right now that are not important. So I want you to really understand that what I'm telling you it's the real deal. It's the important thing to know to get better at this. In a shorter period of time. So what I mean by that, what I mean by this extra advice that I'm giving you, is that if, for example, imagine that you're playing soccer, okay, football, soccer. and you for some reason, uh, one of the players, I don't know, maybe uh, got injured or something, right? I don't know. Something happened. You don't know, but there's 10 players instead of 11 on the enemy team
Oh,
for
yeah,
some
that was
reason.
fucking bad. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
I
it,
distracted.
it, it happens to the very best of us, so no worries. But yeah, if they lose a player and you don't know about it, I'm talking about looking at the player leaving the the arena or the field. You don't know about the advantage because you're not paying attention in the game. It will be pretty tough for you to empirically or like by just game sense detect that there's something leaking. This is how League of Legends works. Uh, if something happens in top lane, something you lose in bot lane. If something happens in the jungle, you lose something in the mid lane. So, let's, for example, say if you're aware of the fact that your Warwick is doing Crocs on bot lane, instead of doing full clear like you're going to do now, you could try, for example, doing a vertical one, like going to his
His
buff,
like his side.
taking wolves, taking the grump, and having your camps for later to get 300 extra gold, so one kill. If I don't know I have such an advantage, I could have wards, okay? I could have the enemy currently farming in Crux right now, and you're looking at it. But if you don't know how it works, it doesn't exist. You need to know how the kind of pressure that you have been applied on works to make good use of it. Okay?
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
okay,
if
yeah,
that
so
makes sense. It's tricky to understand while you're playing. It will make more sense after the game. I'm actually filming the coaching, so if you want, I can send you the link after finishing.
yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
I don't mind.
Thank you. So that's what I wanted to tell you about League of Legends. Those three advices or three tips, you're not going to find them anywhere else. Okay, not online. Well, it will be pretty hard for you, at least right now, as a normal player, as the new player. So let's talk about the game. Let's talk about Viego. The thing with Viego is that you need to get a reset to work. If you don't get a reset, Viego is a shit champ. Okay, it's pretty bad. It's it's impossible to do something without a reset. You know, in a full team fight. This is not a full team fight. I mean, in a 5v5 or something like that. Okay? So, because Viego needs to reset, that means that he works in certain environments. If you were going against, for example, I don't know, a Cho'Gath or a pretty big champion, okay? I know you don't know all champions, but let's just say you're going against an unkillable champ, a tank one, okay? The problem is that most probably you won't get that reset. So that's when it gets tricky. That's why you get Kraken Slayer. You get Blade of the Rune King sometimes. Because that's the problem with Viego. So yes, I could tell or I could tell you that Viego is not an easy champ to start playing League. But as I said before, if you're not having fun, it's not going to work. So if you do really like Viego, that's okay. just expect or be aware of the fact that it's going to take a longer period of time for you to play it correctly.
Yeah, I mean that goes for anything.
Yeah, of course. So that actually is pretty. It's a pretty interesting statement because yes, for example, if you are by any chance interested in competitive in league in the competitive side of league, that shit applies to like anything else. Working with a team, improving your your lifestyle or doing the things you want to do. So yeah, it's a pretty it's a pretty normal stuff to feel that way. That this what you're getting here, what you're learning here, it's going to translate to something else. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Oh shit.
Yeah, fuck.
And that's the thing. He used maybe like just 1 second to think. I will WEQ alt. And in your champion is compared with Darius, it's pretty hard. So that's the gap that I'm talking about. It will take
Yeah,
longer for
if
you
I
to
don't
be.
stun him with my
Yes,
W, I'm practically dead.
yes, things like that. So that applies, for example, to your verses. You're playing right now against Warwick, okay? If you knew what Warwick spikes work, how they work, when they happen, you know at what level he beats me, at what kind of build that I need to get, like the best one I could get. For example, you could get grievous wounds since you're playing against Warwick. That's something anyone knows if you know how Warwick works. So that's how you explain why it's better to play just one champion because it's not going to be the same as if you were playing with something else. It's lots of changes in a small period of time. Pretty tough for you as a human to get it correctly like at just one game. So that's why it works to look at your replays. I'm not telling you to just play Viego. One tricks usually play maybe two or three extra champions whenever they get banned or whenever they don't feel like playing their main because of what we were talking about. Maybe I'm playing against Shao. That's lots of feeling. I don't want to play against it. Uh, I didn't ban it, so I'll just pick something else that works for that. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do with those three advices is to have them as a tool to learn the things that you could learn online. Use these three advices that I give you. For example, if you want to learn how to farm, because you know how what farm is, okay? It's you killing this thing, you killing the jungle. If you want to
Yeah.
learn how to farm, you will need to be aware of the fact that there's advantages in the map, and you as a jungler should be able to look at them and know they exist. So that's advice two being applied, right? Or no, that's advice three. Or advice two, um, I don't have the advantage because I'm not applying pressure or enough pressure. For example, let's say like for example this exact moment. Are you a danger? Or do you think you're right now a menace or something to be concerned for the enemy team? Are you important at
Not
all?
not not. I mean, I'm warding. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
fuck.
worrying, but I guess it just doesn't work for you. That's completely fine. For most people, it's pretty tough to get a coaching when they are all when they already know about the game. Imagine you that you're completely new, you don't have maybe a clue of what are they talking about, or like at some degree you understand, but you're not getting like the complete thing. So it's pretty tough to focus and listen. So I just wanted to let you know that it's normal, okay? You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, about what I told you and about what we're looking right now. What do you think you need of me, of a coach? What do you think will be better or more interesting for you to learn? Do you want to learn matchups? Do you want start by learning maybe clears? Do you want to start by maybe learning builds, what to do, etc.? What do you want to do? What's your like?
I think, I mean, matchups is probably the most important part.
And you
Like,
are right.
no.
Yes. So let's imagine you are against a fist that is level 5. Okay? There's something called spikes in the game. Let's look at this fight. This is when Diego starts like being a menace. When you um when you get your first reset. Also, Diego is like a pretty hard and tough champion to be your first one because you're forced to know what everyone else does because you are transforming, right? Like you will get their abilities, so you need
Yeah.
to know at least like the general thing, okay? Like what Q does, what W does, and what E does, like in a general approach. So it will be hard, it will take long, but I don't think that it will take that long. It's pretty easy nowadays to get this better and learn. And yeah,
Yeah.
and something that my coach, I had a pretty good coach back in the day when I was trying to learn to be a coach, and something that he used to tell me a lot was that to be like to improve in something, you need to fall in love with boredom. So you need to be okay with doing all of this boring shit because I know it's boring shit if you're not getting the like the dopamine of winning the game, for example, or winning a tournament or something else. I don't know. So get just used to it, used to practice, and with time it will work. So I'll be pretty interested to watch a game, like a pre-recorded game, so we can talk about the game. But I thought this was mm, more important. Okay, so yeah, think about those three things, and as I ask to all the players I coach, what do you think you are taking with you after this small introductory section, like this session in general? What do you think was most important for you to hear? Like,
I guess just like evaluating my own gameplay and like thinking more critically rather than just like playing. It's like that only gets you so far. It's not gonna like make you better. Like it might, but like it's not gonna make you one of the best players in the world. Like you actually have to
yeah,
like
you actually are in the best age you could have because for a good player to develop, he usually gets master in a year. Okay, Baker got it. Crowney got it. Several players that maybe you don't know or you haven't
I
heard
only
from
know
them.
Faker.
Yeah, so Faker at least. Faker got master in a year. So besides the fact that he is pretty good and he improved a lot, he had something. that is called consistency. He he got in love with boredom. Okay, and you can hear about him. Okay, there are several players that have talked about Faker and about what he does on social things. For example, if they go to I don't know, a restaurant, he's playing chess on the phone. Okay, if they go to the movies, for example, he's reading a book. Like he is pretty consistent with what he wants to do, and that's why Koreans are better than us because of the culture.
What the fuck? I swear to God, I click record. Why is that only
No
part of it?
worries, I'm recording, so no worries. I will send you the link.
Nah. Alright. That's
Uh,
so weird. I definitely click record. I only recorded 3 minutes of it.
no
That's weird.
worries. Let's just try to record a game at all. I don't know when the patch starts. Let me take a look because that's pretty important to decide if you will need to change your champion. Give me 1 minute. Let's see. Okay, the patch went through. Okay, so what I will recommend right now, uh, first of all, you need to know that BA was not getting any changes. Okay, besides the fact that the red boots, the new ones, are getting nerfed. Diego usually uses them whenever he is winning, so that will be like the only important change that will happen. I usually like to make sure that you always have something to do, okay? Something that you like homework, okay? I always make sure that you get your mind on something, okay? Your thoughts. So what I will recommend now is to watch a video, okay? This video talks about jungling and how it works. I will want or I will like for you to just look at it and think about what we talk and like see if that makes sense to you now. If you can look at things differently now that we talk. And I will just ask you to beg you to record the game. In the next couple days, I'll be pretty available. So just send me a message and we will do it again,
Um,
like this time.
yeah, I mean, I can record like probably most of my gameplays. I don't know.
Okay, awesome. So, do you have any questions about what we talk or about the game in general that you will feel like getting answers to them? Like any at all? Any questions? Something?
I mean, this might be already like kind of advanced, but like you mentioned, oh, if you see like the enemy on the, let's say they're on Raptors, right, and they haven't cleared the other side, well, then you could just invade and take theirs. Like, how do you know they're on Raptors, or how do you know whether or not they cleared it or not? Like, how do you know that a red or blue buff?
That's a
Like,
great
how do you know
question.
any of that?
It's a pretty good question. Okay, let me start streaming. I will record my screen. It will take just 2 minutes. Okay, it won't take long.
Okay.
Um, but that's a pretty very nice question. I love coaching jungle because of this, and this will or should be easier to understand besides or against the things that we already talked about. But basically, there's something called path in jungle. In the jungle, the path is the way you're going, right? So your path is basically like a trail that you're leaving behind. Okay, so for example, let's say that you're red side. Red side are the guys that are playing on this side. Okay, you are red side. The thing with the League of Legends is because it's that it works like a mirror. Okay, the way the map is right here is the same one as this, and this wolves as they are here, they are here. And blue is here and here. So you get it? Like it's like a mirror.
Yeah.
What happens
Like
in one side happens in the other side. But in the just different ways, okay? So if your jungler, your enemy jungler, the guy you're playing against, is pathing, for example, top lane, you should be doing or thinking about what you have to do. There are several options, but the easiest ones that you will get right now is, am I stronger than him or faster than him? Or let's are the third one, weaker than him. So there's just three scenarios: stronger, faster, weaker. Let's talk about this matchup that you currently were facing against. You played against Warwick, and numbers don't lie. If you take a look in any page of data, league data, you could, during champ select, just make sure that your champion don't success against it.
right.
So, what I will do, what I usually do, what I usually recommend is to use one of these tools. What I don't recommend though is to get a to get used to them. They are tools. They are not part of the game. So you should be able to eventually just be okay without them. But currently, since you're trying to learn about the game, use them. They're pretty useful. So if we look and write Viego, this is going to give us the overall champion performance um, in all regions in general. Okay, you will get. I guess you can look at it right now. You could look. You should be able to look at the red line and the letter D. It works. It's like a tier. Okay, and the web page by using the API of League of Legends, they can access to this data, so they know how much games of Viego happened this patch since the game got, since Viego got into the game, and etc. Okay, so what I will recommend to do is to use u.gg or opgg or something else. It's okay, whatever you prefer. Every web page shows you something like this. Okay, these are your runes. Here you can look at the lane, because sometimes Big was played on mid lane or top lane. Sick people that I don't know, that they just like try one or two games with that champion on a different lane. But he's better, or he's selected as jungle because that's his main role. That's the main role he's picked. So here you can take a look on his toughest matchups. And that's when you ask, Alex, but how did you know that Warwick was weaker than me? What's like what are your thoughts? How do you get to that conclusion? That's what I told you about earlier. You need to look champions in groups. That will be easier for you to take a look at matches. So I said it would take 2 minutes. Sorry for taking longer, but that's it. If you're so you have three options: weaker, stronger, or faster. Let me answer your question. So taking that info applied to the game, let's imagine you are here. That's where you start your pathing, and he is here. First option, okay? Number one, faster. If he's here and you are here, and both junglers, most of them do this, full clear their jungle, so they kill all camps, all 6 camps, you will be on top lane earlier, before he gets both lane, before he can gank. So if you gank top lane, for example, and you get the top lane's flash, or you get a kill, what do you think you're applying to them?
You're applying pressure to them. You're
Yes,
like
the pressure that we were talking about. Yes. So since you're applying pressure, he will need to make the call, uh, ganking the enemy top lane. Besides the fact that maybe he hasn't a good matchup, yeah, it's 2v1, but sometimes you can just escape and that's it. He loses time to for ganking the top laner. He loses maybe a couple summoners or maybe his life. So it's easier to make things come to you than to look for them, to force them. Okay? At least right now at this point of your experience in League of Legends. So let's let's see option two. Okay? We talked about being faster. You will get there before. Second, being weaker. If you are weaker than the enemy jungler, you shouldn't want to be farming or getting to the same place as him. That's called tracking. So answering your question, how do I know where the jungler is by tracking, by putting wards. So let's take an example. It takes for you as a if you're playing on red side, it takes for you to get here 23 seconds to walk all the way over here. The minions spawn at minute 1. So you still have 47 seconds. So since it took you 23, that means that you have still enough time to recall. Go here, recall, and come back to your jungle before it spawns. What I'm trying to say is that there is a way to control things. Because if you're just playing automatically, maybe one of the team games that you play, your mid lane will ward that. And you won't have to do it. But it's just one game. That's why I mean. That's what I mean when I'm telling you about you need to know how to make things to happen. So basically, it's pretty simple to answer your question. If you look at the jungler here, and you have a ward there, and it's the first clear, you can press tab. You know the window that when you look at the enemy and stuff,
yeah.
the builds, etc. If you click or press tab, you'll be able to look at how many minions he has. So let's make an example. Let's say you're it's minute maybe 150. So it has been almost a minute since the game officially started. So if you look at Grapes, let's say Grapes is farming the jungle and he's here and he hasn't killed the big one, you know, the big raptor, and you take a look at his minions and it says 12. What do you think? I don't know if you're experienced enough for this, but what do you think this means? If you see Grapes here before killing the camp and he has 12 minutes when you press tab.
No, that means he already cleared it. Oh.
Yes, because all camps count for, if I'm correct, 4 minutes. So if he has 12, that means that he already killed 3 camps. So that should be impossible if he's here. Besides the super weird situation that he just killed 2 camps here and went here, that's not normal. You have been playing jungle for 2 weeks, so I think where I guess you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty normal to full clear. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, since you looked at him when he was farming the Raptors, he haven't got them. He has 12 farm. You know he's pathing bot side. That's one way to track your jungler. Okay,
Right.
with info. Next thing, since just just like to make sure we're on the same page. Uh, it's impossible to win it all, to win all games. Even Faker and the best players of the world lose a lot. Maybe you could win 70 games and lose 40. That's a pretty big gap. Or lose maybe once per 2 games, like overall. But it's impossible to don't lose. So what we're trying to do here is that we want to increase our percentage of wins. Statistically, it will be um, usual, or uh, you will have a jungler that starts in blue, for example, if he's a Karthus, than red, because they use a lot of mana, so they usually need to start in blue. Maybe some madmen will start on red, okay? That happens as well. But statistically, a Karthus, even if he's not good, will start on blue because he uses a lot of mana. So without your ward, by just using your knowledge, you know where he started. So yeah, it's like a it's too much information because that means that you need to get used to all the junglers, like to know how they work, to know what counters them. So I can try this enough, try to group them by strong
No.
ones, weak ones. I don't know, scaling ones, early ones, easier ones, etc. Okay, and just try to get to know at least those groups by like general means. For example,
All right.
I haven't played League in a while, okay? But besides that fact, I still know what the new champion does. I know that he heals, I know that he has a knockup, and that he can pull you like Xin Shao, but like with CC, something like that. And he has his soul that can cross walls. And I just looked at the champ maybe once or twice, and I already know what the purpose of him is. He's a trader. He is a champion that likes to play on on longer fights. Okay, so what you need to pick is something that can escape instantly. For example, a Rakan that can go in and go out, go in and go out. It has like a faster cooldowns or better cooldowns than him, and that's how you counter them because you act as if you were going sad. He's going old because anyway he's thinking about fighting maybe for a minute or two, like for a while, and you just live. That's a counter. A champion that has a small range, like Kalista or Tristana or I don't know, Kaisa. They have a pretty small range to be ADCs. So the counter is Caitlyn, is a Seraphine, is something with range. So what we understand now is that they're all champions like everything in life have counters. You just need to be aware of the counter and why it is a counter to have the advantage. The same thing. So, for example, if you don't know that you have a Timo range, Timos are like the way we like the way we compare the range of certain abilities. Team is a champion, but League what League does is basically telling you, I don't know. Diego has three teams of range in his queue. So a certain proximity, okay? So you will hear that a lot. But yeah, answering the question, pretty easy to track your jungler. Several ways to do it. And the last thing that I told you is what will happen if I was stronger than him. The third option and the last one. It depends, okay? It's not like it doesn't work for all games. You know, for example, if you think, and that's this is a fact, that Diego is stronger than Nunu on certain period of times in the game, I don't know, maybe level 6 or 11, 12, or I don't know, something like that. There's nothing that you could do to lose the advantage if you're doing things right mechanically, because that's just a good matchup for you. For example, I love to play Vladimir. I don't know if you know Vladimir.
Yeah, he's usually a mid laner.
Okay, I love to play Vladimir. And since you have been playing for 2 weeks, you should have known already Yasuo and Yone.
Yeah.
They are pretty uh, annoying champions. They can fight a lot. And Vladimir is a pretty late champ. He's pretty weak because we know that scaling has his consequences. Okay, like the chess map. If you're pressuring the right, you're losing in the left. So because Yon is melee and I have range, I have the advantage. I'm his counter. Besides the fact that I'm a late champion. So you need to know what to pick against some champions. Do you know what counters, Diego? I know.
Uh, well, any champion who can isolate Viego or CC him. So I guess like Jax or
Mordekaiser.
yeah, Mordekaiser, I ban him a lot. Um
Okay.
I guess Tryndamere because he can go invincible for a few seconds and that can completely destroy my ultimate.
Do you
Um
think Diego is a long trader or a short trader?
what do you mean by short or long
That you
trader?
like to fight like during a long during a long period of time, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, just keep fighting? Or you think he's stronger when he tries to just all in and kill them in 3 seconds? What, like,
Shorter.
shorter? Okay, sorry. So, what you're trying to tell is that Diego has a smaller window to do something. He has to do it in 4 seconds. The
Yeah.
champions that counter him are the ones that like to fight during a long period of time. That translates in one word: healing. If you heal what you're fighting by some way, you like to fight for a longer period of time to use that heal. So let's say, for example, Darius Q heals you depending of how many champions you hit by one Q. So what Darius wants is to hit the Q on the biggest amount of players, okay, to keep healing. But if you fight for 2 seconds and run, you won't be able to hit that second Q, and you will lose just too much health. Okay, so that's like the main thing. What I wouldn't recommend to just like play, you need to know how the matchup works. You need to know how to fight. Just like just against the jungler. It's okay to don't know what anyone else does, besides the fact that you're Diego, right? You need to know anyways, but usually you don't have to. Okay? At least to play between this, gold, silver, maybe bronze, elo. It's not mandatory. So let's just focus in the important stuff. Let's try to learn matchups. The three things that I told you. Um, and in general, fall in love with boredom. Practice a lot. Ask me questions. After you finish a couple games or you already recorded the game, be hungry, okay, of knowledge, of learning and winning and improving. I'll be here, I'll be available. As I told you before, I just want to practice my English, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I can just like record all my games and like if I find like if I don't know why I got countered or why like the other jungler won or got ahead, I mean, I guess I could send over a clip or the VOD.
Okay, okay, sounds like a plan. Then, let's not wait a lot because league changes all the time. So if you can record a play and message me maybe in a day or two, I'll be available for you and I'll be more than glad to help you. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And
Like
what's your name?
I play like to. Oh,
I
sorry, my
don't
bad.
know your name. What's your name?
You could just say Eric.
Eric.
Yeah,
Where are you from?
I'm Lithuanian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We are pretty different than and far away from us. Are you living in Lithuania right now, or you're living
No, I
somewhere
live
else?
in Ireland.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. So you usually play on Europe then?
I play on EU West.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. So I it was a pleasure to help you, Eric. If you have any questions, you can reach me anytime. I'm pretty uh, aware of the fact that most probably we have a difference in the time. I don't know what time is it right now there where you are.
For me, it's 10:15.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty big. Here's 3:15 p.m. Okay, but you can
Damn.
message me whenever you want. I will answer. Okay, if you have any questions or if something makes more sense and you want to develop that thought, that's completely fine.
No. I mean, this is kind of. I mean, I don't like. Doesn't really correlate, but like, let's say I'm playing a game. Do you think, at least for the beginning, do you think I should like be allowed to listen to music, or do you think I should just focus on the gameplay?
Okay, that's a great question. The thing is that we are all different. But let me ask you something. Have you played with music before?
Yeah, I have.
Do you like to study or exercise with music? Do you think that's more fun?
Yeah, it gives me like, especially like motivating music that just kind of like pumps me up. So like,
Okay.
for example, the gym, like rock or hard style or anything like that, metal, like I like that. So it just gets me in the mood. So
In my personal experience, I am a person with ADHD diagnosed. So I have a problem like an attention thing. When I'm playing, I'm not um I can't do anything else. I get distracted a lot. So for me, it's a no. But based on my experience, there's people that find that dopamine or that we don't know how to call think that they need to like to have the energy to do all these things. So it's okay. What I will recommend is to be more mm, aware of it, of how you felt during the game. Okay, so play with a couple games with music, and if you don't feel that you lose focus, it's okay. But if you feel that you're getting distracted by it or that you fell a lot, if we compare both, because that's what happens to me, I will recommend to hear music during champ select and leave it alone the rest of the game
All right.
after you start, like playing the actual game. But you can still be hearing music. Uh, Pretty good swimmers like Michael Phelps, for example, love to hear music before swimming. Okay. Besides the fact that hear music during uh, swim meet it's forbidden, uh, he loved hear music before when he was waiting for his turn. Like for the hit
Yeah.
for the event. So that's something that works too. Just try to get to know you better.
What kind what kind of like walkout music for like boxing or something, just to get them hyped.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of us. For example, I had a pretty interesting thing that happened to me. I don't know if you have seen the movie Baby Driver.
Don't think so.
It basically the premise is that he's pretty good at driving, like uh, like running from the cops and everything else, right? Like that. That's how the movie starts. He is helping some guys to rob something, or I don't know. I don't remember. But the thing is that he's half deaf, so whenever he listens music, he just like gets in the mood and becomes Tourette, or I don't know, something like that happens. So yeah, some people usually with something missing, some people that have this ADHD things, for example, that they aren't able to focus, music helps them. But it's different for everyone. So what I would recommend is just try it. Be more aware of it, how you feel, and if it works for you, it works for you. If you want, we could look to a game that you're playing music like bunch of sounds or something. I don't know, like heavy music, something like that, and play a game without hearing music and just compare them both to see if we can tell like if you're doing something better, improving at all. But if you're telling me that you feel great, that there's your answer. You should be able to play with music. Let's play with music. It's not a bad habit. Maybe if you're trying to play with a theme is, but besides that fact, and what I mean with playing with a theme is like competitively, okay? Like if you're trying to reach that, it's impossible to hear music anymore, okay? Because you need to be talking with your teammates, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just gonna like solo queue.
It's okay.
I don't really duo or anything.
Yeah, and if you want to play, we can of course play. I have a pretty good ping on an A. So if you want like the third kind of coaching that is like playing together and talking about the game like for a couple of hours or something like that, something like chill, it's okay as well. Okay.
Yeah, well, do you have a like a EU West account or?
Yeah. No, you're not in. I forgot. You're not in NA. You're playing in the US. No.
Yeah.
Back back in the day when I used to be a coach for Europe, that was like the same problem because the players wanted to play with me, but I just couldn't. It's too much pink, like 250. It's
Damn.
pretty bad.
I mean, I'm already getting like 40 ping just on my own servers. So,
So
I don't know.
it was true pleasure meeting you, man. I don't know if you have any questions for me before leaving. That was a great question, by the way.
I mean, all my questions have been answered, I guess. I'll talk to you like tomorrow. I think I can later on today I can play a few games. I'll probably record them.
Okay.
I'll maybe try to review them and maybe in the morning I'll send them over. So you can have a look when